Hi, my name is Laura Boozer. Thank you so much for joining me for this quick tutorial on how to do a reconnect sequence. So we'll jump right into it. We're going to start with a rest assess. So please, if you're ever doing this reconnect sequence at home, always promise yourself you'll start with an assessment so you know where you are, you'll learn your body more, you'll do your sequence, reassess to see the changes that you've made. So before we get started, make sure you have a roller, soft roller, 3-inch diameter. My favorite is the Melt Method roller. It needs to be long enough that your head, your core, and your hips can be on it at the same time. So go ahead and grab that. If you don't have that, you can also roll up a yoga mat. If you don't have a yoga mat, you can get a beach towel. You can just a large beach towel and fold it a couple times and roll it tight to give you that same length. Okay, so you need an area that is large enough for you to lay flat. We're gonna start with our rest assess. Let me get where you can see me. Okay, so you're gonna lay flat on the ground. Can't see my feet. Gonna have to invest in better video equipment. Flat on the ground, and you're just simply gonna close your eyes and give yourself permission to tune into your body and see where your stuck stress is living or has accumulated. So the main areas are head and our ribs, our diaphragm area, pelvis. So let's go ahead and start at our head. Where is the weight of your head? Just take a mental picture of where it is and remember what it is. Is it tilted a little to the right or to the left? Maybe the weight is higher up on your head. Ideally, it would be right behind your nose, right behind your eyes, evenly weighted. We'll move down into our diaphragm or into our shoulder girdle. Do you have more weight in the high part of your shoulders? You might even be feeling your shoulder blades really pronounced on the ground. Again, ideally, we would like to have the rib weight be heavy and low, right around your bra line or your mid-lower rib area, not up high. Let's go into your arms. Are they feeling evenly weighted in the masses of your arms from the right to the left side? Moving down into our low back and hips. Do you feel the arch of your back is starting all the way from that low rib area going all the way down to the pelvis? Ideally, if you want to put a finger in your belly button, ideally that low back curve should start from the belly button and go down, just a small curve. It should not be above it, so take a mental picture of that, see where you are. Moving down into the hips, do you feel the weight of your hips being more pronounced on the flat sacrum bone, on the flat bone in the middle? Ideally, it should be evenly weighted in both butt cheeks. Moving down into our thighs. So the masses of your calves, let's pay attention to where they are. Are they even on both sides as far as the weight of them? Maybe even where they're laying, do you feel the weight more on the outside? What about the spaces behind your knees? Are they the same from the right to the left as far as how high they are off the ground? And let's check the back of the thighs. Are they even touching? Ideally, all of that would be even and symmetrical. The weight of the back of the thighs, the space behind the knees, and the calves. Now let's check into our feet. In a perfect world, they would be making the letter V, facing northeast, northwest. How about how much they plantar flex or point? That is not where we want to be. You might feel that one side is more pointed towards the wall in front of you than the other. Now let's divide ourselves in a right and a left half. This is going to be checking where our center of gravity is and how dysfunctional that connection to our brain, to our center of gravity is. Do you feel more weighted on the right side or the left side in all of those masses? Okay, good job. Now we're going to just bend our hips, turn to our side. We're going to grab a roller. Go ahead and put the roller underneath your hips. And we're going to lay back. I'll get again to where you can see me. We're going to simply just lay back to where all three masses are on the roller. Let me turn just a little bit. Okay, all three masses are even on the roller. Again, slightly just tuck your pelvis, get your chin down, and close your eyes. We're going to start with just gentle rocking. So the way this should look is all three masses from your head down to your tail are rocking back and forth at the same speed. You might find that your head goes, but your hips want to go the other way, or it's really hard. You're actually having to push through your feet to get the roll going. Ideally, all three masses would be rocking back and forth. So this is going to help our brain, again, try to reestablish its center of gravity. Good job. Now we'll stop in the center. We're going to move down to our hips. We're going to gently try to tuck and tilt the pelvis. Now, again, compensating patterns are going to want to roll here. So the goal when we do this is when you tuck the pelvis, that you do not push through your heels and you do not squeeze your butt cheeks. So one way to help with this, if you take your hands and you make a triangle, your palms would be right on your hip bones. Your fingertips are going to be right at the tip of your pubic bone. And we're going to give this a shot now. We're going to tuck, and then you can intentionally push with your palms down, and then tilt as if you're pushing your pubic bone between your legs. Now we're going to add breath with it. So inhale and tuck. Don't push through your heels and try not to squeeze your glutes. Exhale and tilt. Trying to keep your rib weight heavy. Don't let the ribs come off the ground. Inhale and tuck. Don't push through your heels. That's where the brain wants to go, or squeeze your glutes. Exhale and tilt. Pushing with your fingertips. Push that pubic bone. Envision it gliding between your legs. Inhale again and tuck. We'll exhale and tilt. The goal is to differentiate the movement of our pelvis from every other major muscle. Our deep core muscles should be able to, your pelvic floor, your autonomic system should be able to tuck and tilt the pelvis without having to use any other big muscle group. Okay, now we're going to go into three-dimensional breathing. So we have a diaphragm, big muscle in the middle. I like to envision it being a balloon that blows up three-dimensionally, touching the front, the sides, and the back. When we take an inhale, and when we exhale, squeeze it back down. We'll start and let our brain try to help reacquire its signal again by actually touching. Put a hand over your belly, put a hand over your chest. We're going to inhale through the nose. Try to push the belly hand up, not the chest hand. And relax back down. Inhale again. Lifting up through the belly. And exhale. Let it all go. Give yourself, show yourself some grace if this is very hard and you have no idea what we're doing. Inhale again. That's just the compensating patterns over time and over living life that has allowed us to breathe from our chest instead of from our diaphragm. And exhale. But doing the sequence over and over will retrain that pathway. Now let's take our hands and put it on our ribs. So right below the mid-ribs, just curve your fingertips around, elbows just relax, everything else relax and light on the roller. We're going to inhale through the nose. The side ribs are coming out. Exhale. And this isn't an exaggerated breath, it's just a normal breath, but we're going to do it slow with intention. So inhale again, pushing the side walls out of that diaphragm. And then exhale, relax it all back down. Inhale again, blowing out the diaphragm from the right and the left. Let the hands fill, the hands go out, not the chest. Exhale, let it all collapse back down. One more, and this time trying to envision not only is the inhale taking the hands out, but maybe you can feel it in the back of your spine on the inside. And exhale, and let it go. Now we're going to switch it up to the third dimension. Hand low on the pubic bone, another hand high up on the collarbone. We're going to try to breathe lengthwise this time. So inhale. Let the breath, let the oxygen go up and down, north and south. Inhale again. Long breath. Exhale. Bring it back down. Inhale one more time, long. Let this oxygen pull north to south, lengthwise breathing, not just the chest. And exhale back down. Good job. Now we're going to try to tap into that reflexive core mechanism, what we call the transverse abdominis. This is actually something that in neurodevelopment at some point you were able to do. We're going to add a sound to our exhale so that you can feel that contraction again and help reset that neural connection again to the deep core stabilizers. So when you inhale, I would recommend you use a sh sound, maybe even a s sound or a play with all three of those sounds as we do this breath. And the goal again is to try to feel this reflexive core, this transverse abdominis, flatten out and contract on the exhale. So let's try that. Deep diaphragmatic breath in. Using your sound, exhale. Hold that contraction at the end for just one moment. Relax. Inhale again. You can change up your sound. See which one works best for you to feel this core, this contraction in this deep lower abdominal wall. Transverse abdominis is the actual word. Hold that contraction. Relax. One more time. Inhale. Good, contraction down below. Now, whichever one of those sounds work best for you to feel that fire, that contraction at the bottom, use that. We'll do one more breath. Inhale. Exhale with your sound. Blow all this air out. Hold that contraction for just one moment. Fantastic. Relax the hands back down. Now we're going to roll off to our side ever so gently. Lay back down, push the roller out of the way. We're going to do a quick reassessment to see what you feel, the changes in all of those masses and spaces. Just close your eyes. Now feel how more grounded and integrated your body is to the ground. Your head should be more neutral, more evenly weighted behind the nose, behind the eyes. Moving down into your arms, they should feel a little more even and relaxed. And the big one for me is always the diaphragm through this chest where we hold all of this stress and anxiety feelings of. Now you should be more center weighted behind the lower rib wall, more towards where, for women, where your sports bra is. Should feel significant changes there. Let's go down into the low back. You can put that finger in the belly button again for your brain to understand where we're even talking about. Your curve in your low back should be much smaller. Maybe before you started, you couldn't even lay down without your muscles grabbing because they're working so hard for you. Maybe now you can lay flat without feeling those muscles contract. And into your hips, did you notice a change between the weight? Is it more on the flesh of the butt cheeks as opposed to heavy on the sacrum? Go down into the legs. Can you actually feel maybe your back of your thighs touching the ground? If they were already, maybe they're more evenly weighted. The space behind your knees, maybe not so high now. Maybe they're more even to the right and the left. And the calf masses, same for those. They should feel a little more even from the right to the left side. And I always love checking the feet. The feet ideally should be in that right-left pattern. Maybe before one foot was turned out real far. Now you're feeling them more even and neutral, up and to northeast, north-south. And if you had a toe or a foot more plantar flex than the other, you might notice that they are more even and relaxed. Now divide yourself in that right and left half. What do you feel there? Do you feel more evenly weighted from the right to the left side? If so, you have just graciously helped reconnect your brain to your center of gravity, turning back on a lot of those deep core stabilizers. And if you were doing this sequence to sleep better, I know you're going to find that you will sleep much more rested. So go ahead and turn yourself back to your side, push yourself up. I hope you found that to be relaxing. Hope you were able to feel changes and know that those are, again, just the foundational movements that we're going to be using as we move on into more of our strength, stability, and fascial hydration classes. So do this 2-3 times at least a week, and you can even sit at your desk or while you're driving and try to tap into your breath being from the diaphragm. So hope that helps. Have a great day, and I'll see you on some more videos.